Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 4 of the selling your Bitcoin. Number one thing to focus on when selling your Bitcoin for your deferred sales trust transaction. Hey, I'm your host here, or the video expert here on YouTube, Brett Swarts, and I'm focusing on helping you make all things simple the deferred sales trust and all things simple when deferring capital gains tax on the sale of your Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other highly appreciated asset, business, or real estate. And we're on part 4 of our series, Investing and Ongoing Management of the Deferred Sales Trust. There's part 1, 2, and 3. If you haven't checked those out yet, I'm going to cover it real fast, all in order here. But we dive into the detail. Part 1 is all about the strategy and motivation behind selling your Bitcoin. We encourage you to have a clear plan for why you're selling, and hopefully a clear outcome for what that investment on that next deal, that cash flow can do for you, or for retirement, or for the next business venture, next real estate deal. Have a clear plan on the overall macro strategy, and then get very clear on what that outcome can be for you. That's all in part 1 of the video. Part 2 is all about the Deferred Sales Trust team. Who are these people that are helping me? What are the roles? The DST tax attorney, the DST trustee, which is us at Capital Gains Tax Solutions, the financial advisor. How we work with your business team and professionals to help you execute on this. Part 3 is all about executing the deferred sales trust and actually opening up the exchange accounts at places like Kraken, opening up the DST, the transfer of that, how that kind of looks, the security of that, how we do that in real time. So check out part 3. And then part 4 is right now, the investing in ongoing management. And as I was making the last video, I was thinking, you know what? I should talk about costs, right? Because people are wondering, what are the fees? It's one of the most commonly asked questions. So I'm going to cover that first as a little bonus here, and as well as dive into the and how and where the funds can be invested and the ongoing management of that. So as you might be picking up on, the deferred sales trust, it takes a team of professionals to execute on this. It's not like just opening up an LLC and just transferring funds. It's not like just opening up an IRA account and moving funds there. It takes ongoing management and an ongoing team. I want you to think of this like a business trust, which it is a business trust. And I want you to think of you like the CEO, and my role as a trustee is kind of like the COO. And then there's like the CFO, and the CFO would be like the financial advisor. The COO would be like the chief operating officer, and the CEO would be like the executive who can make approval or disapproval of the movement of the entire business trust. And that in regards to when fees are paid, or approving of the fees to be paid, as well as approving of the investments to be made. And so with that, the costs are really just there's kind of 2 main costs and then some miscellaneous costs. The first is the one-time setup fee to the tax attorneys. And they're kind of like, they would be, I call it to make them like the business brain surgeons of this entire thing, right? They're the legal arm that actually opens up the trust. They're the ones who have faced the IRS over 25 years, thousands of closes, and have had a no change audit track record with the IRS. So they're batting 1,000 there, and so everything's legal and it works as long as we follow the rules and the parameters here with a third party trustee, which is me. And so they charge 1.5% typically on the gross sales price on the first million, and then about 1.25% on anything above. So let's say it was $1 million of cryptocurrency you want to sell tomorrow. They're going to charge $15,000 at the close, only at the close. Remember, that's a part of their conditional engagement agreement or conditional fee agreement. Just like here at Capital Gains Tax Solutions, we don't charge until the deal closes. They don't charge until the deal closes. So it'd be about $15,000, okay? Now, as the trustee, we're somewhere around with the financial advisor, depending on who the financial advisor is, and depending on what they charge. Together, the financial advisor and the trustee, I like to say is no greater than 2% on a recurring basis per year. So if it was $1 million, it would be about $20,000 on a recurring basis on those accounts under management. If the number goes higher, that can go lower, but that's typically the best way to just keep it simple right here, right now. And our goal typically is to earn about 10% on the money to net about 8% on most of our deals, based upon the risk tolerance of you who we help you score that risk tolerance, and that will determine the interest rate on the promissory note. And so that's the fees. Now, the trust also files a tax return. There's a bank fee, miscellaneous fees that run around $3,000. That's part of why we have the minimum of $1 million net proceeds, $1 million gain, so that there's enough, we have to say pain. If there's not enough pain, then our medicine here is not going to be valuable enough, right? But if the pain or the tax is large enough, then the medicine of the deferred sales trust can be an absolute home run. We believe when it's $1 million net proceeds, $1 million gain. Okay, so that gets the fees out of the way. So now let's talk about where and how the funds can be invested. So this is where it gets, I think, really exciting, because I want you to focus right now on a thing called optimal timing. And optimal timing basically means this: we want to sell high and buy low. Right? We want to sell high and buy low, whether that be real estate, whether that be cryptocurrency, whether that be stocks, bonds, mutual funds. We ideally want to be able to diversify, get some liquidity, obviously get tax deferral with the deferred sales trust. That's all on the planning, that's all on the execution. But then once it closes, we want to go and be able to invest and make a return on the funds to be able to pay you back. Okay. And so as a team, we, with the financial advisor, are presented with options and opportunities to invest in. It can also be real estate. Okay. It can also be businesses. And so that's the ability to invest into different things. It could also be cryptocurrency. Okay. So there's not like a set standard, except for we need to make sure we keep some diversification and some liquidity. And again, you must approve of all investments. And so that's the beauty. And it's also no like 45-day window to identify or 180 days to close. If you're familiar with the 1031 exchange and trading real estate, we call it the Blockbuster way of exit planning. This is truly like the Netflix version, where there's no timing restrictions on that. Okay. In fact, I had clients that were very nervous during the COVID-19 2020 market, real estate wise, crypto wise, as well as in investing in the stock market wise. They were very, very nervous, and we sat in the bank, right? And we waited and we were patient until they believed optimal timing was there and felt comfortable with that. So that's the thing that we want to work with you to figure that out. And then, so that's how and where the funds can be invested. That's the cost and the ongoing part of it too. There will be a tax return filed once a year for the trust. And that's part of what we do here at Capital Gains Tax Solutions. And we have a team that does that, and you can review that tax return. You receive a 1099 for any interest payments that were paid back to you. So for example, if it's $1 million deal and it was set to pay you back at 8% and you received $80,000, you'd get a 1099 for $80,000, and you would report that to your CPA, and you'd pay ordinary income tax on that. If you took a little bit more, like $100,000, and only earned 8%, $80,000, that $20,000 you'd pay capital gains tax on that. So you'd also pay that. So remember, this is tax deferral, and you'll pay as you receive it. It's not unlike an IRA or 401k in that scenario, and that the funds are growing in a tax deferred state until you start to receive it. And so that's what to expect for yourself. And that's kind of the ongoing part of this. And then there's also monitoring, of course. You'll have 24/7 access to view the funds online for the investments that are made, typically at a place like TD Ameritrade or Charles Schwab. And so that's how that works. And then at the bank as well, for funds that are sitting there waiting to be deployed into the next investment. So hopefully this helped you get some clarity on the number one thing to focus on for your Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency deferred sales trust transaction. And again, if you could if you want to take action and you're ready to start your transaction, you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. Remember, our minimum is $1 million net proceeds, $1 million gain. So if you don't have that yet, now, if you had two, it's okay. Two that equal that, $500,000 each, or 700 and 300,000, then you can certainly qualify if you're going to be selling those in a short period of time. But if you want to learn more about that, you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. You can download our free ebook. But best of all, if you think is the most amazing thing we're offering right now is a free mastermind on all of this, and where you can get with clients of mine. You can get with me personally, my business partners, financial advisors, CPAs, people learning about it for the first time. Right? We want to try to make this thing simple, not feel like you're on an island doing this by yourself. We're closing these every single week, and we want to earn and win your business. But we want to try to clarify and keep it really simple for you by hands-on mastermind education. So it's every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com, and it's also 1 p.m. Eastern Time, right? You can join our mastermind, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you there real soon. Please rate, review, subscribe. Please share this with somebody that could help. And they could be selling a business, a primary home. They could be selling, of course, cryptocurrency. It could be selling a commercial real estate property, and are looking for a way to save a failed 1031 exchange. Please share this with them so it could help them out. And we so appreciate everyone out there, and we look forward to talking